4 o'clock on your Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Green, and it's Friday afternoon. That means...
Yeah, I'm Kim Christensen. And, it's Friday afternoon, so it's going to be raining or thundering or rumbling or something. Yes. It did that yesterday, too. That's why Lauren Robinson signed up for another day with us, right?
We'll get to her in a sec, so let's take a peek outside. Pretty nice. A lot of blue skies, some puffy clouds. It depends on the direction you're looking. In the southwest, some counties are seeing some of those thunderstorms like what we saw yesterday to the north. Lauren's with us again today, tracking all of it. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Some areas are seeing those showers and storms. Other areas as dry as can be. Now, we do have two separate areas of severe thunderstorm watches. One is across the western slope where we were expecting some strong weather today. Then the other is going to be far northern portions of the Front Range into Larimer County and Weld County. So we're going to continue to watch for these couple of areas to see the strongest storms. Everywhere else, maybe not completely dry right now, except for the eastern plains, but we did see some light rain showers push their way through downtown Denver, and now they're kind of dying out as they push along Byers and Agate. Now, we move to the north a bit. This is where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in place until 4:15. This is going to be near Grover, where ping-pong size hail has already been reported. We're also going to watch for those heavy downpours, gusty winds, and of course, lots of lightning and thunder. But coming up in my full 7-day forecast, we're going to talk more about those scattered storms tonight. We have very hot weather moving in for the weekend, and then of course, more storm chances in the forecast. All of that for you just ahead.
And in San Miguel County in southeastern Colorado, the sheriff's office is dealing with flooding and rock slides around the county. Here's a picture from the Wilson Wilderness area. Flash flood watches are in effect in this area until midnight.
Hopefully the storms that do pop up today aren't as bad as they were at this time last year.
Hard to forget this one. Sometimes you forget a storm here and there. This one pretty unforgettable because the severe weather dropped tons of hail over Denver and Jefferson County and right over Red Rocks. Oh, almost looks like snow out there. Thousands ran for cover at the Louis Tomlinson show at Red Rocks that night as a hailstorm descended on the iconic music venue. More than 100 people were treated for injuries. 7 people were taken to the hospital. Those that were there that night say the hail was so bad because there was just no way to get to the safety of their cars.
Running back to the car was just not really an option while the hail was going on because it was just dangerous. We finally get to our car and my back windshield is shattered, just completely shattered.
Red Rocks had issued a weather delay an hour before the storm hit, and then there was an all clear, but shortly after, another weather delay was issued before an urgent warning to seek shelter. Amid questions as to why the show wasn't canceled, Red Rocks Director of Communications says it was a tough call to make.
On some levels, you're in a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation because 6,000 fans were here. You've got a headlining artist who's on stage who's only going to be here for this night. You cancel a show and nothing happens, and those same fans are angry at you.
It was a mess, and we heard a lot about this.
And it's tough because when they say seek shelter at Red Rocks,
you're like, where?
Where is that?
Where
and there
is
was some of the discussion about some of the places people tried to seek shelter but couldn't.
Yeah.
Some of the stands and some of the other stuff that they weren't allowed in.
Yeah, and then even if you go down to the restrooms, there's very little space. So people that were there will never forget it. I think everybody's going to probably check their weather app or something before they go to the venue again. They did implement new communications with fans about severe weather threats this year. There's also the fact that it's hard to get cell service in some areas there. So all the way around, pay attention.
That was 1 year ago today.
The court will therefore impose the following sentence. For count 1, vehicular homicide as to Aaron Godinez, the court will impose a sentence to 2 years in the Department of Corrections.
The driver convicted in a crash that killed 5 people has been sentenced to more than a decade in prison. Jesus Puebla was driving a truck on I-25 in Weld County in June of 2022 when he slammed into the back of a car that stopped for traffic.
The jury found him guilty of vehicular homicide and today sentenced by a judge to 11 years. 9 News investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn has been covering the case. He was in court today. Kevin, as you might imagine, it was an emotional day.
Tom, there were a lot of tears. It was a difficult day, both for the family members of the people who died in this crash and for the driver of the truck that caused it. All of them gave emotional testimony. This all stems from a crash 2 years ago on I-25 in Weld County. Jesus Pueblo was driving a truck that crashed into a vehicle carrying 3 generations of the same family. It took the lives of Emiliano and Cristina Godinez, their son Aaron and his fiancée Haley Everts, and the young couple's infant daughter Tesley. We've got some sound from the daughter, sister, and aunt of one of those victims, and from Puebla himself.
I would like to say that I'm so sorry that this happened, and I never meant to hurt anyone.
I won't get my daddy to walk me down the aisle. I won't get my mommy to hold my hand when I'm giving birth. I will have my brother and his wife be at my wedding or be an aunt and uncle to my children.
Puebla was eligible for probation, but the judge said that that would diminish the value of the lives lost and that it was important that he serve a prison sentence. He actually is likely to serve less than the 11 years. He can take time off of that with his behavior and other factors. In Greeley, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. A lot of damage done on all sides there. Thanks. In national news, we've been following this today. A gunman killed 3 people in a shooting at a grocery store in Arkansas. This took place in the town of Fordyce. That's about 70 miles south of Little Rock. At least 10 other people were hurt as well. Arkansas State Police say one officer is among the injured but is expected to be okay. The state police there say they did critically injure the suspected gunman. That person is now in custody. A 23-year-old man will spend the next 12 years in prison after killing a well-known Arvada composer in February. Police say Juan Ortega Torres Jr. was going 60 in a 35 when he ran a red light while drunk and crashed into Creston Wolf's car, killing him.
Wolf's wife addressed the court during that sentencing, and today she is speaking only to 9 News reporter Evan Krugel. Evan joins us now.
Kim, Alicia Wolf says her husband's main goal was to inspire others to do good, which is why she's hoping the man who killed him will learn from what happened and create positive change when he's released.
Learning a new instrument takes time. But each day, Alicia Wolf's fingers are finding the right notes more often, filling her Arvada family's home with the accordion music that used to play here.
Doesn't sound good, but I'm trying to do it because our family needs that. That's how Creston's legacy can continue.
Creston Wolf was a well-known composer for the Colorado Ballet, known not just for his musical prowess, but for his ability to make those around him better people.
It's completely in Creston's spirit to understand that people make mistakes.
Alicia says the driver who killed him owned up to those mistakes at his sentencing last week.
He spoke to the court and said that he would take Creston's place if he could. And I believe him.
And while 12 years is a far cry from a life sentence, Alicia says the shorter sentence offers the chance for some good to come out of a terrible situation.
I know that Creston would never want this to ruin another person's life. You know, he's young. He has time to grow, and I want him to change lives, and this could be his rock bottom. This could be the phoenix that rises from the ashes.
It's why she's continuing to play the music Creston loved, ensuring the good he brought into this world continues.
Now, both of the Wolf's children who were in the car at the time of that crash are doing okay. The Colorado Ballet is planning some additional tributes to Creston in the years to come. Kim and Tom.
I know they were crushed by his death. He was so important to them and his skills.
To so many.
Yeah, as a composer.
Yeah, such an incredible musician and created some really powerful pieces that have been played by the Colorado Ballet. And that's why it's so important to this family, to so many in this community, that music continues to live on.
We just heard from Kevin Vaughn in that other case from Weld County about the devastation that happens to those who are both convicted and sentenced to jail, as well as those who were killed or injured in these incidents. She seems very forgiving, very willing to try to move forward and understand that life does go on.
It would be so easy to be angry right now, but she said that's not what Creston would want. And in the end, she really wants his legacy, that good that he was doing, to continue on, and this is one way to do that.
Wow. Well, good for her, and let's hope his music continues to go on, and through his children and his wife. It's wonderful she's taking up those instruments and keeping it going.
She's getting pretty good.
All right. Thank you,
Evan. You bet.
South Metro Fire Rescue has a new tool to help keep you and crews safe while fighting fires. It's a new firefighting foam. A few years ago, South Metro found cancer-causing ingredients in the old foam they were using. Without an alternative, they just kept using it. Now there's finally an option without those cancer-causing chemicals.
The biggest thing I'm excited about is we have fluorine-free foam in our apparatus so that if we have airplane crashes on airport or off airport, we can flow that foam, protect the people that are inside, and extricate victims from a plane crash without having to worry about causing a huge hazardous materials cleanup.
South Metro Fire Rescue has spent more than $100,000 on the new foam. The department says to completely make the switch, it's going to cost well over $200,000.